Pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. A run there on 1st down, and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big pickup there on the run. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They run with Taylor. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. 1st and 10, Taylor now. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing, Young. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath, maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
Taylor is into the end zone. It's a Falcons touchdown. Now, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point by HOU, up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing in run support and tackling the runner for a loss.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. You know, following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
McKenzie now to return it. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football because, as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Young now from the 50. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. And, Charles, for this defense, you know, they're a confident bunch. Some may say maybe too confident at times. How do you think that they approach a game like this when they're taking on a team that's lost 4 straight?
Well, if they're anything like their head coach, you know they're relying on that confidence. You and I both were sort of surprised at his weekly press conference when he was asked about this being a trap game. And he's almost boasting that he didn't see anything to worry about. That surprised both of us in a big way because we know that can be a dangerous tactic because I can guarantee you the guys on the other side, they heard that, and they're looking for anything to galvanize them.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. These two teams all tied after 1. First down, Young. Looking for the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
Similar to a shooter in basketball who just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Young over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. To throw, Young. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Young. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Jonathan Taylor, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Crew able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From the 6. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
And he'll give it here to his running back.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. He's got the first down here inside the 30, and he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. 43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Hoffman. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Cortland Sutton, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. The extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied here in the second quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Taken at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Here's 2nd and 10. Young will set to throw. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Texans scoop it. And they will bring this one back. A Fuller return for a Texans touchdown. huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Young on 3rd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Hoffman. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Hoffman. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. Throw over the middle, caught by Jordan. Touchdown! Brevin Jordan, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
McKenzie returning it. And good coverage there on special teams as he'll get him down shy of the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
That throw by Young incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Third down, Young from the gun. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. They'll run for it. It's Taylor, and he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Oh, on the defensive side, that is so deflating.
Not only is it deflating, they've got to look in each other's eyes on that side of the ball and take each other's measure. You've got them backed up, perfect situation, and what they said to you on the other side is, we don't think you can stop us. Went ahead and got it in that position. That should never happen.
To throw again on second down. Young. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Young from the shotgun. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Young looks to throw on first down. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 21 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. Young to throw it. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Texans are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. That catch good for only a couple.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now he dumps this off over the middle, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets.
And he cannot get away, and Young will go down. That will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Young. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Direct snap to the up man. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And this Texans defense stands tall. How about that for a call? Leading in the second half, fake punt, but this one's going to work against them.
And, partner, I love a fake punt as much as anyone. In fact, I might love it more than other people, but in this case, probably a step too far because not only does it not work, but look at the field position they gave up after the attempt.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. 49 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Grady Jarrett with the tackle. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Hoffman. Got this into the hands of the tight end, Jordan. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 20-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Off the play fake. Hoffman. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Another try after the first down sack. Young, and he's going to have the hook up to Gage.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Out of the gun, it's Young. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A first down throw for Young. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just
looking there for puts, but intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Texans will have solid field position here as they take over at the 45-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 78 yards rushing for him now to this point. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
They go play action here on 1st down. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Young to throw it. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. He'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. From the gun, it's Taylor. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game. Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
It's Young on 1st down. Right back to Pitts again. That catch good for only a couple. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
It'll be Young again. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching.
Touchdown, Falcons! It's the fullback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point by HOU, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From the 6. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
To throw on 2nd down. Hoffman. It's caught left side by Cooks. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Whistles and a timeout at the 2:05 mark. So this defense wanting to get one more pause in before the 2-minute warning, and they do just that. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Here is Young. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. Uncorks one for Davis. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
And this will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
He'll drop this down to Taylor. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Young. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this will be recovered by the Texans. So victory appears to be in sight. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big 4th quarter comeback. Able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? And in the 4th quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So for Houston, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tampa Bay